Hello again, Lockpicking Paul here, and what I'm going to do tonight is a remake of a first video I made on YouTube, because that was just a picking video. It should have been a pick and a gut, but you know, first video, not really up to taking a lock apart on camera. So this is to fix that deficiency, if you like. So this is a Yale 7-lever safe lock. There's nothing terribly special about this. It's got a couple of little tricky bits inside, which I'll show you, which if you go at this lock too hard, with too much tension and too much picking force, it will overset. You can correct that actually. If it does overset, if we overset it tonight, I just back off the tension a little bit and it will drop into an open. So it's not a terribly good protection mechanism, but I'll show you what causes that. It's a safe lock that you often find on things like gun safes. So this is more, I would say this is more of the budget end of the scale. So if you've got a cheap 3-gun safe or something like that, it's probably going to have one of these locks on it. To be honest with you, I hope they've changed them, because this really isn't up to much in terms of anti-pick protection, especially to secure things like guns. So if you do have a gun safe and you're looking for a good gun safe, you want something a bit more, I think, like one of these. This is old and probably been superseded by something better. This is a Low and Fletcher, but what you're looking for is something with double bitting on it. They're definitely harder to pick. I've only opened this lock once, and I'm sure that was a fluke. There are false gates in here, this thing, and they are the interlocking type of false gates that sort of clamp together like that. This is a really nice lock actually. It works very smoothly, but a much more secure lock than something like the Yale. So if you do have a gun safe and it's only got one bitting on one side of the key, you might want to rethink that. Right, shall we pick it? Yes, let's do that, and we can get it gutted. And I'll show you the levers. There are, like I said, 7 very tightly packed levers in here. They are very small levers compared to most lever locks. And you've got to be precise. Normally I use a 1.6mm picking wire, but that's too big for this lock. Oh, there you go, got the open already. That's what I mean about not terribly secure. That didn't take very much, did it? 7 levers, but you don't have to pick all 7. Well, not in this particular case anyway. That might not be true for all of them. My bolt, by the way, is not quite long enough, so it doesn't throw that bolt fully, but that doesn't matter. We could always reach in there with a wire if we wanted to throw it fully. But let's get this gutted. And zoom in as well. Can we do that? Yep, there we go. All right. Let's move my light so I've got light over the top. Not a lot going on in there really, is there? So that's our bolt on its way to being fully open. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pull it back out again. I think gutting it a bit easier. Right, so first things first. You can see that gap on lever, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, lever 5. So lever 4 and 5 are interesting in this lock, or is it 5 and 6? No, 4 and 5. 4 and 5 are interesting in the lock. You can see it from the gap, because they are, you can see it from the front here now. Hang on, let's put that back to where it's meant to be. I just lift that out of the way. We've got a 0 lift lever in there, so obviously a lever that doesn't need to be picked. Now, as we get to each one in turn, we'll go through them. So yeah, there is a zero lift in there. In fact, there are 2. So, like I said, it's quite easy to overset this. But if you look, those levers are all quite tightly packed. And if you use a 1.6 picking wire, that will set more than one lever at a time. So I take a 1.6 picking wire and then I grind it down. For this particular one, I made this wire specifically for this lock. I ground it down so it's much thinner than 1.6, and it's got really quite a pronounced flat on it, which this lock likes. But as you can see, it picks very, very fast with this wire. So let's take these out. There's one. There's 2. There is lever 4. As you can see, 0 lift, but there's a lot of space there. Whilst it isn't a false gate or an anti-pick notch, you can substantively overset that. And I think that was, that's a deliberate mechanism. But it doesn't work very well. Like I said, if you get it into an overset, which is actually quite hard to do, you have to work quite hard to get into an overset, just back off the tension and it drops into an open. Same on lever 5, another 0 lift, with an even bigger void underneath it. That really is. So if you try and bully this, like if you really sort of went at it with a wire and lots of tension, it just binds up. Let's pull that out. And same again on 6. So technically speaking, there's lever 7. That's actually a lifting pin. You've only got to pick 4. You've only actually got to pick 4 levers in here. Which, like I said, I think it was probably a protection mechanism, but not so much. And these 3 levers being together create sort of like one thick 0 lift lever. So as long as you jump straight to the back, pick that lever, and then pick the front 3, it's going to open. So yeah, not hard. I would like to get another one of these to see if they're all like it. I think that would be interesting to know. But probably going to focus my efforts around the double bitted safe locks as opposed to this one. I think I'd be a bit disappointed if I had a gun safe and this was its lock. So yeah, that is a Yale 7 lever, but basically a 4 lever lock. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it did a better job of replacing the first picking video that I did. It should have been a gutting video. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Enjoy your picking. Cheers.